So I'm starting to dig in more and more. This market saturation of video games to me is a very interesting premise. Simply because this is what I think is the biggest factor that's causing a lot of games to not come out flying out the window and selling, especially the AAA games. Because now gamers have a lot more options, and the AA scene is being slept on. But somewhere, somehow, they're also eating into the available player base in terms of gaming, that's pretty much kind of stagnant if you think about it. Before we actually do that, this video is going to be a little longer, so bear with me, but we got to wade through a lot of the data. This is one of those things where if you kind of get a sense of the data, it will help you a lot in your analysis. So Game Over 30 here says Square Enix released their, H1FY ending March 2025 report a couple of days back. Overall, it's a mediocre reporting period for Square Enix. Company net sales have fallen to their lowest in 3 years for this period, anyways. And HD Games is still posting an operating loss. Operating income, wow, this is crazy. I didn't even know this. Operating income went up despite lower sales. Square Enix amortizes a significant portion of costs. Total company profit fell. Those of you who've been talking about, the Final Fantasy sales were okay, you really have to sit down and think about the nonsense that people spout on this internet. And if we don't talk about it, they'll run away acting like they kind of know what the heck it is they're talking about. It's a very silly premonition at the end of the day, because again, I can go to my bookmarks and I can show you I did bookmark it, because if you don't, people will say, who was saying that? That's what people will tell you. They'll come back and try to make you seem like or sound like you are stupid. I remember the conversation, and it made an impression on me how bold people are. And this is the account. This account says their name is I Am Error. I mean, shout out to you for actually putting this thing together, because we were having a conversation about, Microsoft wanting to know why developers are choosing PS5. And this person said because they want to sell games, and PlayStation didn't train and condition their users to avoid buying games, which is funny. The realist, shout out to you, bro. You came up here and said they're not they're not buying them either. Shout out to Square and Concord. And then it kind of triggered it. Boom, where they went out, and this is what they put together. Square sales numbers on PlayStation are okay. They consistently say all their games underperformed, including the multi-platform ones. So it's not a PlayStation issue. Well, look at what Square Enix is reporting right now, and kindly shut up. Right? Now, where is this taking us in this conversation? Well, it's very simple. If you go back again and you continue to look at, say, what games are being played across the board by a lot of gamers. I have the Matt Piscatella document also bookmarked. You got to keep these receipts, man. And I wish I was a better receipt keeper. Some people on the internet do a way better job than I do. We gotta go all the way down to find this particular document. We're getting closer. There it is. You realize that players are playing these live service games. In fact, on PC, it's a whole different style of game that's actually filling up the list. I mean, look at Satisfactory. It's number 4 at this week. Look at Counter-Strike, Space Marine, Warhammer. At the time, this was like the week ending September 14th. I use it as a placeholder. There's new and updated data. So I started digging again into the 2024 release games on Steam. And some people have said, well, I saw one comment that said, well, a lot of those games are indie games, and so they're basically trash. And I'm like, are you paying attention how Satisfactory is one of the top played games, even from, pushing up the 90th position spot? When it releases DLC, a lot of people go back to it. And you're not taking into account that this game is a Steam Deck enabled game. So basically one of these kinds of Steam games that would probably allow for world building and stuff, which just takes a lot of time. And a lot of players enjoy games like that, especially the ones that play on PC. This is their jam. And I started looking at these top games and looking at their peak and looking at their, the amount of people who have been playing them when they were released. And I was quite surprised how many players these games continue to just hold on to. It's not big for most cases. Now, this is Power World, this is Wukong. Sorry, Wukong did 2 point something million. Power World did 1 point something million. But then you see some games like this game here, TCG Card Shop, having a peak of 53,453 users. My dude, that's about the same as God of War Ragnarok. Like, look at it. Isn't it crazy that this game that you guys are saying, but it's a card shop simulator, it's holding down people? Look at this game called Shapes 2. 18,800 people had played the game concurrently at its peak. Then look at this game, Crime Scene Cleaner. 13,000 people. So these games that you're looking down on, that you're thumbing your nose against, because all many of the console players, and to be fair, most of us that play on console, and even some of us that play on PC, we're kind of casual. But there are people who play this, like the Planet Crafter, 28,000 people just sitting there chilling playing it. And these are 2024 releases. Look at this one, A Biotic Factor. Many of y'all ain't ever heard about these games. But look at it, 21,000 people basically just chilling there. Halls of Torment, 26,000 people. Looks like a roguelike isometric game. Rusty's Retirement. Look at this. It basically looks like a Stardew Valley style game. 20,876 people. Then this one is called Content Warning. 204,000 in its peak. That is insane. It beat Silent Hill 2 on PC. Oh my goodness. PlayStation is cooked if they do not make their way to PC day one. People are not waiting for AAA games. They're playing games that are available to them in the genres that they're interested in. Are y'all seeing this? This is the first time I've actually looked at this stuff. I pulled it up and I was like, let's look at it over a video. This is Powerworld 2.1 million. This is why Nintendo freaked out. They're like, whoa. That's why they're bullying and playing lawfare. Nintendo, you will lose. There's no doubt about that. Because these guys are in an ecosystem where it's all different. And gamers like these kinds of ideas on this platform. They're not going to thumb their nose. They're not snobbish at these games. They play them. And what is this game? Hades 2, 103,000. This is a sequel from Hades itself. And then the rest of them are doing decent. Look at this game, Knowledge or Known Lady. This is one of these weird games. I don't play games like this, man. What the heck is this? But people be playing them. Persona 3 Reloaded, okay, that one's also here. By the time we actually add up a lot of these user counts, you'll see, Steam has, how many, I think about, I can't remember how many the all-time peak for Steam was, maybe like 32 or something, million concurrently playing the game. Ghost of Tsushima represented about 77,000 at the time, which is solid. But again, you see how all of this is being choked out by just these games that are doing little here, 20 here, Core Keeper, 46,000 peak. That's big. That's bigger than God of War Ragnarok. That's bigger than Final Fantasy 16. Yes. I mean, we were telling y'all, look at this. And these games continue to increase at a number in terms of launches every single year. If we want, let's go ahead and look at Steam, DB for Final Fantasy. I think that's what's going to give us a better, Final Fantasy. That way we can see why their game is sucking on there, because they're over here complaining, our game, that's 15. Oh, is that 16? Look at this. Look at the charts for this game. 27,508 in its all-time peak. Yet we have a game like this, Core Keeper, smoking it on PC, taking people's attention. 20,000, not really a big deal for most of this game. Look at this game. This is Shin Megami. Okay, since Tensei 5. Dragon Ball Zero. Okay, that one did good, even though now the community is complaining. But you keep going like this over time. And again, remember, there are 16,000 of these games to wade through to look at their average player count. So any company, and this is why Square Enix is running away from exclusivity, any company that does that trash is going to get pummeled, bodied with prejudice by the plethora of games that will come out and choke them in this release window thing that they're doing all over the place. Just look at this. I need to go back and filter this by, highest peak. Perhaps that's a way to do it. Oh, this is low to high. Let me see. See if I can do high to low. Okay, I think I did it wrong. I need to figure out how to do it from, there we go. That's highest to lowest. Oh, perfect. That way I could just see the top ones and see what's going on. Helldivers 2, 485,000. That did well. It's a day one launch on PC. I mean, duh. Sony, I wonder if you have some sense. Sons of the Forest. Wow, 414,000. What? Oh my gosh. I'm going to bookmark this page. Goodness gracious. This is insane. My theories were correct. My suspicions were right. These AAA companies are getting cooked by the plethora of games coming out on PC. And so them actually jumping in and going for exclusivity deals is basically bigger than an Achilles heel. Sean Layden was correct. They will ruin their brand and ruin their business, all in the name to grow PlayStation's box, which at the end of the day is there to play more of these kinds of games anyways and make those developers money. Oh, what a self-defeating strategy. Gaming is not immune at all from economic factors and competition. Now, indie is, and I told you, you're sleeping on indie. That's the bane of AAA's existence right now. Unreal Engine and a lot of these different, frameworks have made it possible for them to be able to write games. And I'm going to have to make a part 2 of this video, or part 17, because every time a new AAA game gets announced, I go back to this list and be like, I hope you're going to be coming multi-plat. Because if not, people aren't going to go buy you a box to play your game. Thanks for watching the video. Talk to me in the comment section. Peace out.